Alrighty guys, so let's get right into it. This is probably the best deck of 2017 I've found so far. I managed to win my locals and then I went on to the nationals and won those as well, which is insane. It's probably the best deck of 2017. I have yet to find any deck that can beat this one. All of my opponents, they said, wow, I've never seen a deck like that, it's pretty anti-meta, but apparently from all the wins I got, it's going to become meta, guys. This deck is seriously. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, monsters first. We're going to go with the Comrade Swordsman of Landstar. This card, you're probably wondering why I'm not going with the normal Swordsman of Landstar. Well, it's actually quite simple. This card's actually a tuner, which means you get your Synchro Summons off. Pretty good card, pretty high attack, pretty good defense as well. Definitely a keeper. Yeah, awesome card. Princess of Tsusiguri. This card's insane. If your opponent has like 5 attack, spell or trap cards, and you have also a field spell, and also the pendulums, I don't know if they count, but seriously, this is a lot of damage when you flip this face up. It just flicks so much damage. That's 500 each. Pretty insane card. It gets them every single time. Elemental Hero Neos. This card is probably the heart of the deck. If you don't have Elemental Neos in this deck, it's gonna fail. It is such a strong card. 2500 attack. Pretty good card. There are a few spell cards I need to bring up that help this guy out. I'll get to him later. Again, Elemental Neos. He's pretty good. Sunlight Unicorn. This card will definitely help you with your equipment spells. It's just a must-have if you want to use Cyclone Laser. I'll get to that later. Yes, always keep one of these in your deck. Poison Draw Frog. This card, it's just about drawing. You know, if you draw Poison Draw Frog and you just draw, and you know, it helps you get those cards in your hand. Definitely a keeper. Better than any Pot of Duality or Desires or anything like that. Poison Draw Frog, always keep one of them handy. Giant Kozaki. This card basically blows up when you place it on the field if there isn't a Kozaki on the field, and this deck doesn't have a Kozaki on the field, so therefore it's gonna blow up. Basically, it blows up and inflicts 2500 damage to you. Pretty good card, catches your opponent off guard every single time. Pretty powerful for a level 4. Mad Lobster, because Mad Lobster actually tastes really good. It even says in the card description that a gourmet food renowned by the Dark World Uppercross, it has a sensational flavor. This is pretty standard in every Dark World deck, but I just took it from the Dark World decks and put it in here, and you know what, it works out great. Cyber Archfiend, again, like Poison Draw Frog, you just want to keep drawing those cards, man. Also, high defense, which means you can defend against attacks. Pretty good card. Hero Kid. Now, I only need, I think there's another one here somewhere, but you probably only need 1 or 2. You probably don't need 3. I don't know why people have 3 in their deck. You just need 2. Seriously, it works out for me every time. Yeah, only need 2. I'll get to him later. I have a few trap cards for Hero Kid. Awesome card. Black Stego. Now this card's the tricky card in the deck that your opponent does not see coming. Basically, if you play in an attack position, if it gets attacked, it'll change to defense position. This is what gets your opponent off guard every single time. It inflicts massive damage because the defense is so high. Got 2000 defense. Pretty standard stuff. Black Stego. Yep, one of my big cards. Another Hero Kid, of course. I was going to get to him. Probably 2, not 3. Remember. Death's Frog. Now this card is the killer. It's a secret killer. This card will ultimately destroy your opponent. Pretty good card. I'll get to him later. I'll definitely talk about him later. He's very, very important. Death Frog. I'll get to him later. And 2 Heartman, Blackwing, Dust. Pretty standard stuff. Pretty self-explanatory. You guys know the drill. Alright, so that was the monsters. Let's get to the spell cards. First off, we have a copy of the Legendary Ocean. Now, this is the combo I was talking about with Death Frog over here. So basically, the combo is Legendary Ocean degrades all water monsters in your hand by 1 level, and therefore, since Death Frog's level 5, you can't really normal summon him without a tribute. But since of Legendary Ocean, you can actually summon him just normally without a tribute, which is insane. Which means you get a monster with 1900 attack on your side of the field. Just a normal summon, just like that. And also, since of Legendary Ocean's effect, it gains an extra 200 attack. Wow, this combo, it's gonna become meta. It's gonna become meta stuff soon. I reckon you just start buying up on those Death Frogs and Legendary Oceans. Insane combo. Secret Killer, awesome. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to the other spell cards. We have Twister. I know what you're thinking, why play Twister instead of Mystical Space Typhoon or Twin Twisters? Basically, Twister's good because you get to pay 500 life points, and it only affects face-up spell and trap cards. It catches your opponent off guard every single time. They will just be like, what? Why are you playing that? It gets them every single time. Great card. Cool. Alright, so we have 3 copies of Neospace. Again, Elementary Neos. This increases the Elementary Neos card in your deck by 500 points. It's seriously insane card. It gets your Elementary Neos up to 3,000 attack. Pretty insane card. Yes, always run 3 of these. You probably don't need any more. 3 is pretty much standard. Wow, yeah, awesome card. Cyclone Laser, this is the card that works well with the Sunlight Unicorn, if you get those equipment spells. This card only works with the card Gradius, and since there is no Gradius card in your deck, this card's kind of useless, but it's a great bluff card. You just say to your opponent, listen, I got this really powerful equipment spell card in my hand, and they'll be like, whoa, what is it? Is it like Axe of Despair or something? Like, no. And they try and get it out of your hand, and eventually you bluff them and you say, oh, look, it's just Cyclone Laser. And like, oh, man, you got me. It gets them every single time. Great strat, Cyclone Laser. This card, Jar Robber. Basically, this card will it wrecks anyone who uses Pot of Greed. You just negate the activation of Pot of Greed, and then you just grab a card for yourself. Really good stuff. It gets your opponent. It just stops them from drawing. Jar Robber. Always keep one handy in the deck. That's pretty meta as it is. 3 copies of Contact. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why 3? Why not just like 2? Well, I find 3 better because I always seem to be. It's always good to have 1 in your deck. Even though there is no Chrysalis monsters in your deck, it's still really good to have 3. 2 Convert Contacts, in case you run out of contacts. The normal standard contact, Convert Contact basically does the same thing. Pretty standard stuff anyway. This card, the Graveyard in the 4th Dimension. Now this card's pretty insane. I don't know if most people know about its effect, but it says you can add 2 level monsters from your graveyard to your deck and shuffle it. Wow, since 2 level monsters, since all monsters have levels, well, most of them do anyway, you can just get any monster you want from the graveyard, shuffle back into the deck. Pretty insane card. I don't think most people know about this. Wow, and also I like that little Bakugan reference there with the 4th Dimension. Good old Konami, doing up the Easter eggs in there. A Polymerization. Now there are no fusion monsters in this deck, but a Poly comes in handy in case you get lucky. I don't really know. Black Pendant. Now this card is really good. I was going to get to this monster. It comes with a monster. Let me just get it for you. This card, Gearfried the Iron Knight. I keep it in a case because it's pretty rare. Not many people have one of these. I'm willing to sell mine, by the way. Mine's up for offer, about $300. Definitely good price. Gearfried, basically you want to combine Gearfried with the Black Pendant combo. Basically he can't be affected by the effects of equipment spells, and therefore Black Pendant will just get destroyed once you equip it onto him, and that's pretty much an instant 500 damage to your opponent. Pretty cool strat. Most people don't really know about this strategy, but eventually this is going to come just standard, for the rest of this year, I reckon. Pretty insane combo. Again, for sale. Yes, also, yeah, wow. Pretty self-explanatory, that combo, if you understand what I mean. Next, Miracle Dig, in case your monsters get removed from the game somehow. You just pop one of these and then be like, whoa, you know the monsters back, and basically that's just a win game card right there. Alright, cool. That was all the spell cards. Let's get to the trap cards. Assault Mode Activate. You want to use this in case you want to go on the offensive. Just Assault Mode one of your monsters, and bam, you just go for an instant offensive attack. Pretty great card. Not too many people use it, but I definitely put one in my deck. Aquamirror Cycle. This card's probably one of the shiniest cards I have in my deck, so I'm just going to put it in because of that. As you can see, it's really shiny. And also it helps with the water monsters as well, because you do have that Death Frog and that Poison Draw Frog in your deck as well, so that's really handy. Put one of those in. Urgent Tuning Pre-Errata version. Urgent Tuning Pre-Errata is just the better version of the Urgent Tuning cards. So yeah, just definitely use one of those. I did use this at the Nationals, and the Adjudicators, they just didn't really care. I don't know if that's official by Konami, you're allowed to use the pre-errata cards. I'm not sure, but they allowed me to do it, and I basically just won every single game. Great card, Urgent Tuning, pre-errata. Crop Circles, because you need crops to increase your food count, so you can make more villages. Pretty standard stuff for any deck, but I just took one of these from the Alien deck, and it works out great. Soul Resurrection, in case you get into some Shadow games. Basically, if you lose a Shadow game, you just pop one of these, Soul Resurrection, your soul comes back, and you can just keep playing. It gets your opponent off every time. All the Shadow Duelists, they don't know what to do. Soul Resurrection, always keep one handy. I can't stress this enough. 3 copies of Miracle Kits. That's pretty standard stuff with your hero kids. Basically, it decreases the monster's attack by 400 points, and if you draw 3 of these, that's like 1, 2, 3. That's like 1,200 attack lost because of that Miracle Kid, Hero Kid. Insane, 1,200 attack just lost like that. Pretty good. I always run 3 of these. Always run 3 of these. It's pretty standard. Anyway. And just last but not least, but a French version of the Miracle Kit, just in case your opponent speaks French. You can just pop this and they'll be like, oh, I understand where you're at, I know what level you're on. Pretty insane card. Always keep one of these handy in case of the differences. Alright, so that was the Spell, Traps, and Monsters. I'm going to get to the extra deck before I go onto the side deck. Here we go. We're going to run a... it's pretty standard stuff with the XYZ and Synchros. We run 3 Despot Jets. This card's insane. I don't know how to stress this enough. This card is just literally insane. Basically, you just want to use that card I was talking about before, one of the Comrade Swordsman of Landstar, Tuner. Just tune this thing out, and bam, you've got an instant victory. It's just insane. Always run 3 of these. You never know when you'll need one. Insane card. Insane. Cool. Alright, so then we have number 66 Master Key Beetle. This card's a key card, so therefore you can unlock your opponent's life points. Pretty tricky stuff if you know how to do it right, and yeah, your opponent never really sees this coming. I haven't seen too many people use this yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to become meta quite soon. People start to realize how powerful number 66 is. Alright, and we have another number monster. We have number 8 Diamond. Always run at least just one of these, and it gets them off every single time. They don't know what to do with number 8 Diamond. Pretty standard stuff as it is, but, you know, pop one of these, they don't know what to do. They just panic, and then, you know, they just lose all their cards. Pretty much a game winner if you get this card on the field. Alright, and also the Junkie, Amoretsu. This card has helped me out so many times. I took this card from the, I think it was the Zodiac deck. I took it from the Zodiac deck, took a little bit of that, and I put this in here, and as you can see it is Beast Warrior, so of course it's Zodiac. And yeah, this card just wrecks your opponent's field. They can't activate spells, traps, monsters effect, anything. This card just basically dominates them. I don't know why more people aren't using this card, but pretty darn good card. Always keep one of these handy. Yeah, this card has basically won me so many games. This won me the challenges. Awesome. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, we can get onto the side deck. You probably only need 1 card in your side deck, and that is the self-destruct button. Basically, you just want to win your first game, and then just play this card for the last 2, and that's draw, and that's like instant victory. Pretty insane card. Apparently it's banned, but I think that's only in the OCG. In the TCG, I think it's absolutely fine, guys. You can just run one of these. Judicators don't really care anymore. Pretty good card. Just use that, pop one of these, and yeah, instant win. Also, the last card that you're probably wondering what makes this deck so good, it is the, of course, you probably know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm getting to. It is the Dark Magician. Yes, this card. Basically, you know how it works. No monsters left on the field. You can summon Dark Magician, attack your opponent's life points directly. Insane card. This card is gonna become the new, what do you call it? The new best card, this card is going to become the new Draco Sack. I'm pretty sure, guys, this card is just insane. Pretty good stuff from Dark Magician. Pretty old card, but I think it's got new effect or something, I don't know. Always run a Dark Magician, summon Dark Magician, no monsters left on the field, take your opponent's life points directly. Pretty insane stuff from the Dark Magician card. That is the best card you probably have in your entire deck. Alright guys, so that is the best deck of 2017. I hope you enjoyed. Also, one last thing. I told you I was the master.